Now can you see this OneNote?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the echo is gone. That's why I asked you to rejoin once again. I'm sorry because things got delayed, and the reason being that I am also using the WebEx for the first time. Earlier I was used to take classes on Google Meet, but the problem with the Google Meet was that here in Google Meet you cannot take the attendance as such, but in the WebEx everything is being recorded. Who is absent, who is present, everything is recorded. And when once you leave the meeting, this is also being recorded. So I think this is better option. So do you agree with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we are going to start with this wireless network. So wireless networks, there are different kind of networks are there. If I talk about cellular network, then it is basically divided into generations. First generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation, and fifth generation. There are other kind of networks also like wireless ad hoc network. Wireless sensor network is also there. WiMAX is also there. So there's a lot of different kind of wireless networks are already there, exist. So we are going to study one by one all of them, but few fundamentals I would like to take in this class. So if I talk about cellular network, what is the first thing that comes to your mind?
GSM.
Sorry. Now I hope that all of you can listen me. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Actually, there was some net issue was there. The student net was disconnected for some time. That's why I think. So now, can you see this OneNote once again? Is it possible?
No, sir.
We
Okay.
can
I
only
need
hear
to.
you,
I
sir. We
think I
cannot
need
see
to
any screen.
share it once again. It seems. Oh, that is a problem because if you are disconnected, then you need to restart. No. Anyway, at least you can listen to me, na? This is okay. Can you listen to me? Hello.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So when I say, I think next time this issues will be sorted out. Don't worry. So when I say it is a cellular network, how it is different from other network? What is the first thing that comes to your mind? Just please tell me.
Honeycomb structure.
Yes, sir. Telephone network.
What is the first thing that comes to your mind?
GSM.
What is cellular network?
The honeycomb structured network.
Speak. Can you listen? Can you speak little loudly?
So honeycomb structured network.
No, I'm talking about cellular network. What is cell?
So the area covered by a access point or a transmitter.
Okay. Anyone else?
Sir, sir, any telephone network wirelessly connected with each other.
Anyone else?
Sir, base station area.
Base station based. So that is basically cellular network is something that is infrastructure based network. That is infrastructure based network. Okay. And if I talk about ad hoc network, is it infrastructure based? Okay. What is the meaning of infrastructure as such? Yes. Any one of you?
Which has a predefined kind of like architecture.
No, that is infrastructure based. That means it is having some kind of infrastructure like base station, where all the devices are connecting or communicating basically. So cellular network is basically infrastructure based network where it is having a base station. Now base station cover a geographical region and that region is known as the cell. I hope that this is okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now another question I would like to ask, that when you see the cell and that you might have seen somewhere also, that is always hexagonal in shape. Why it is hexagonal in shape?
So because the hexagon provides the best, closest approximation to the real world cell structure.
Or to the real world. Okay. Anything else? Anybody else?
It does not have overlapping or gaps between the cell if we use something
But
else.
so is even I think if I talk about rectangle, then they can also tessellate the area. Tessellate means basically covering the whole region without any overlapping and without any gaps. That is the meaning of tessellation. So even this, like even triangle can do this job, rectangle can do this job.
Yes, sir.
So why you are using this hexagonal? That is the question.
Sir, for sectoring it is easier. Like if we use three.
What is the meaning of sectoring anyway?
So like if we use three directional antennas,
Shashank
then
is
we
speaking,
can.
I suppose.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So if we use three unidirectional antennas, then it's easier to distribute the load in the same cell itself.
No,
So
that is not the
better
reason.
reach.
This is unfortunately this is not the reason, but you are trying. That's good. Anyone else? Sorry. Yes. Anyone? No, no idea. See, first thing, whenever you are using base station, you are using some antenna. And antenna basically are omnidirectional. Omnidirectional means it radiates equally in all the direction. Okay. So basically the radiation pattern is nearly circular. It is not exactly circular. The reason is very simple, because around the base station, the structures are not uniformly distributed. On one side, there could be high-rise building. Other side could be trees. Other side could be a plain ground. That means the radiation is not equally dispersed through the base station in all the direction. But for the simplicity, we can assume it is equally distributed, and then we can say the radiation or the coverage region of a base station is circular. But can we use circle for analysis purpose? No, we cannot use it. Because if you want to cover a given region using circles, then the problem of tessellation will come. Either if you want to cover the complete region, then the overlapping will take place. If you want to avoid the overlapping using circles, in this case gaps would be there. So although the radiation pattern of the base station is circular in nature, but you don't use circle for the analyzing the cellular system. Is that clear? This point is clear?
Yes, sir.
So what is the next best possible case? It should be, you should use one structure which is very near to the circle. So only thing that comes out to be hexagon. You can also use rectangle, you can also use triangle, but they cover less region, they cover less area. They can also tessellate. Circle, this even triangle and rectangle, they can also tessellate. The square can also tessellate. But the one which is very near to the circle is the hexagon. So then you cannot tessellate. That you cannot tessellate. I prefer it, as you say, any other which is very near to the circle. But the nearest possible is only hexagon. Otherwise, you cannot tessellate. The same problem will arise, which is there with the circle. Okay. So that is the reason. So this is a fundamental thing that you should know. That's why the cells are represented using hexagon. Is that clear? So
Yes, sir.
actually this cellular concept is started late. Even in the wireless network, earlier days we were used to have a single very big antenna, and that was used to cover a lot of ground. It was already there, but it was not using any cellular concept because the region was not divided into number of cells. So what was the drawback with the earlier system? That cellular system overcame actually. So just think of that problem. So the first system that came into existence was having a very large antenna which covered a lot of region. Single base station was there. But now we can see the radius of a cell is less than 1 kilometer, or in very densely populated area, the radius of the cell could be even few hundred meters only, 200, 300 meters. So why we switched from single base station to cellular system? Any idea? Any idea from your side? Just think of it. Yes, any answer? Yes, Bharat. Who is speaking? Who is speaking? Nidhi. Okay, yes, Nidhi. Why we switched to the cellular concept? Why we abandoned this idea of using only one base station, which covers a lot of ground?
And to
Okay, okay.
attenuation of the signal.
That is not the main reason anyway. That could be one of the reasons, but that is not the main reason. Anyone else?
The signal attenuation.
That is the same thing I think she told just now. You are putting just saying the same thing in different words. Okay. Before answering this question, let's understand, whenever you are transmitting a signal, basically you are working with some frequencies. This you must be knowing. And you must also be knowing that in the cellular networks, the government charges thousands of crores of rupees for just allocating 5 megahertz of bandwidth. That you must be knowing, all of you. Because there was this spectrum scam and other things were there in the newspaper. So government charges a lot of license fee. So one thing is clear, the spectrum is not available in abundance. That means the bandwidth available is very restricted. It is not that you can have as much bandwidth as you want. This is not possible, because most of the spectrum is occupied by some defense, by some other applications like TV channels, even radio broadcast, other things. So only few bandwidths are available, and some bandwidths are available around 1 gigahertz, around 900 megahertz, Some are available around 1.5 gigahertz. 1 gigahertz equals to 1000 megahertz. And when I say it is 1.5 gigahertz, that does not mean that the bandwidth is 1.5 gigahertz. It is the center frequency around which 5 megahertz is given to you, or 10 megahertz is given to you. Is that clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when I say 10 megahertz is given to you, that does not mean 1 gigahertz, you are operating at 1 gigahertz does not mean that you are given 1 gigahertz bandwidth. At 1 gigahertz center frequency, you are given 10 megahertz of bandwidth. That is the thing. So bandwidth is very precious. And now the thing is that with the increase in the demand, earlier we were used to have only voice communication. That was enough. But now instead of voice communication, the data part is very challenging, because now you want to send some text, you want to send some file, you want to send some movie, you want to see the live match in high definition quality, HD picture quality. So that requirement on the data rate has increased. In fact, this is the reason why we are moving from first G to second G to third G to 4G, even to the 5G of the data rate requirement. So in place of voice, other data type like text, file, movies, live match, images, they are much more in demand as compared to voice communication. Now, as you increase the data rate, your bandwidth requirement would also be increased automatically. Is that point clear? Anyone having any doubt can raise the question immediately. Is this clear to all of you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Any question here, please? Bharat, any question? Bharat is available or not? Samar? Chand Prakash?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. So that as the data rate increases, your bandwidth requirement will also go on increasing, even if you go for higher modulation schemes. Now the bandwidth available is also very limited. So what is the solution? On one hand, your data rate requirement is increasing. That automatically put pressure on your bandwidth. On the other hand, the bandwidth is scarce. It is limited resource. So what is the possible solution? Can you still work with the single base station which covers a lot of ground? No. Here comes the cellular concept.
No, sir.
That is why the cellular concept came into the picture. So what you do now, you divide a whole region, maybe city or whatever it is, into number of smaller cells which cover a smaller area. Okay. Now the base station, radiated power of the base station is automatically reduced, because now each cell is having on its own base station, on antenna, which is connected to all the mobile devices within this region of cell. So earlier one city was covered by one base station. Now maybe it is covered by 50 or 40 or 100 of cellular cells. It requires hundreds of cells. Your base station transmitting power is also reduced automatically, because you do not want to create interference. Now where the interference comes? If all the cells are operating at different frequencies, there would not be any question of interference, because their frequencies are different. They will not cause any interference. Is that clear? I hope that all of you are able to follow this.
Yes, sir.
But the problem is that I cannot assign 5 megahertz, for example, to the 100 cells, because in this case, my bandwidth requirement would be 500 megahertz, and I am not having that much of bandwidth. I am having say 45 or 50 megahertz at most with me. Now within this 40-50 megahertz, I want to put as many users as possible with their increased data rate requirement, because the number of users have also increased tremendously in last 2 decades, or rather in the last decade only. So how this cellular concept will overcome these problems? So the concept is very simple. I reuse the same frequency again and again. I reuse the same bandwidth again and again. And there I take the help of signal attenuation through wireless channel. As we know that the free space propagation, the received power reduces by 1 over d square. You recall that equation, Free's equation. All of you remember this equation, Free's equation. Received power is proportional to 1 over d square, where d is the distance between transmitter and the receiver. Say yes or no. Harshit?
No, sir.
That is a well-known thing, free space propagation model that you might have studied in your 10th class or 9th class, or maybe like that. So it reduces 1 over d square. Now in the wireless channels, where there are so many obstacles between transmitter and the receiver, the received power decreases, not as a square term, but rather a term which is 3 or 2 4 times. That is 1 over d raised to power n, where n is equals to between 3 to 4, somewhere in 3 to 4 range. That means the received power degrades much more rapidly in the case of wireless channels. Are you able to follow this? Because 1 over d square is the applicable when there is no obstacle between the transmitter and the receiver. There are so many obstacles are there between the base station. I am sitting inside a building. So walls also create an obstacle. I am standing behind a truck. Still I am receiving the signal. And there are different phenomena like scattering, reflection, diffraction. Because of that, I receive the energy. That is another issue. So I don't want to go into the details of that. But the idea is that the signal degrades or attenuates much more rapidly. So what I will do now, I will use the same set of frequencies, not in the adjacent cell, but adjacent to adjacent cell. So this is the cellular concept, because I am able to reuse the same set of frequencies again and again and again. So I am having limited resource, limited frequencies. Still, using the cellular concept, I can cater to lot many users with their increased data rate requirement. Is this point clear to all of you or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anyone having any doubt, please ask the question. Actually, what happened is that when I reconnected, there was some issue. So I am not able to share. Can you see this Node wireless network? No,
No, sir.
because it has gone down. I need to restart it. Can I do that? I will try to leave the. No? I will try to reconnect, and because I'm not able to share, because that button is not operating right now. So I will. Let me see. Still, it's not coming. I think. Well, this concept I would like to show it. Anyway, so that idea you understood the idea. So I am going to reuse the same frequency again and again. Mona, is it okay?
Yes,
Hello? Okay. Now next thing is some more fundamentals. When we say this, the first generation was analog system, and from the second generation it became digital wireless network. Up to first generation it was analog. What is the meaning of that? What do you understand from this? Yes, any one of you, just you can try. Hmm? No. When I say the first generation was analog, second generation onwards we became digital. First generation, the leading candidate was AMPS, Advanced Mobile Phone Services. It started in USA. Second generation, there were many IS-95, so many candidates are there, but the most well named is the GSM system, Global System for Mobile Communication. Recall that GSM, second generation. Third generation is your CDMA based system, WCDMA based system, wideband code division multiple access. And the fourth generation is basically OFDMA based. Fifth generation used NOMA and other things. And all the systems are backward compatible. Backward compatible in the sense, if you are having a handset of 3G, it will also work for 2G. If you are having a handset for 4G, it will work for 2G and 3G also. So this is known as backward compatibility. My question was a little different. Why it was earlier analog, now second generation digital. So how can we say it is analog and digital? What is the thing basically which changed?
Sir, it transmit only voice.
Yes, to some extent it is okay. But the voice is also transmitted in the digital. Second generation, third generation, fourth generation. Voice, you are right, is inherently analog signal. Voice itself is inherently analog signal. But you can always digitize it. In fact, this is the answer. In the first generation, voice was not digitized. Voice was used as purely as analog signal. And there we used some kind of analog modulation technique like frequency modulation, FM radio. All of you listen FM radio. Basically we use frequency modulation. The FM coming from frequency modulation. It is having very good quality. Like AM, unlike AM amplitude modulation, the quality of the sound is not very good. So that's why the things have changed to FM now. Both are basically analog modulation technique. But in the first generation, the voice was not digitized. It was used as it is in the analog signal. But from the second generation, the voice was digitized. So that's why we say now it is a digital system. That is the reason. So from second generation, which started in 1990s, everything became almost digital. Earlier to that, we were using analog networks. Now after that, we have started using digital network from GSM onwards. AMPS is analog. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now you must be having some idea about FDMA, TDMA, CDMA. You just tell me so that I can plan my lecture accordingly. You are aware of FDMA or TDMA or CDMA?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So what is CDMA, by the way? Any one of you? Some of you said just you know CDMA. So can you just tell me what is CDMA?
The code division multiple access. It
I
can
know the full
transfer
form.
data continuously on a channel.
Huh? Yes, Harshit, go ahead.
Sir, in CDMA, all the stations can transmit data simultaneously.
Okay. But so is the case with the TDMA also.
At a single time, also it can cover a total frequency, entire frequency at a time.
Actually, here in the CDMA system, all the users are given different code. And you're right, they can transmit at the same time, at the same frequency. They are not separated in time or frequency. They are differentiated based on their individual codes.
So it's a technology that you use
So
and data
the
rate.
third generation system use this code, WCDMA system. And why we are moving from first to second, second to third, and third to fourth, and fourth to fifth? It is basically of the data rate requirement, and some other issues are also there. Connectivity, we want the latency should be as small as possible. Latency, more number of connected device. What kind of system uh, can accommodate more number of users? So capacity is one thing, data rate is one thing, latency is another thing. How much time it takes to connect to network? This is latency. So these issues basically they are some parameters on which we move from second generation to third, third to fourth, and fourth to fifth, like that, based on that. So we'll continue our discussion in the next lecture also. So when can we have next class? Friday, you are free?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Friday I can take 3 to 4 is okay? Okay. So in the meantime, I think after 1 or 2 classes, this issue of WebEx will also be sorted out. But I am also using
Sir,
it
can
for
we
the
shift
first
to
time.
Google Meet also?
Yes, Harshit?
Sir, can we shift to Google Meet? So there
No,
also there
actually,
is
the
an
Google Meet
option
is
to take
having an
attendance.
issue that I cannot take the attendance. Here,
Sir,
I
there is
can
one
take the.
option.
Please tell me.
Sir, there is one option where you can take attendance in Google Meet. Actually, Pinku sir is taking. He sent us
Okay,
in
then
the
I
Google
think I
Sheet
need to
also.
install some other software for that. Because I talked to
Okay, sir.
Wilfred, and Wilfred told me, sir, it's better to go to WebEx. because WebEx record everything when you enter into the class, when you leave the class, in between also.
Okay, sir. Okay. Okay.
Okay, I will also try to explore because last semester I could not take the attendance as such, so that's why I wanted to take attendance this time now, so I can check the regularity of a student also. That's why I'm just doing that.
Okay, sir.
Otherwise, Google Meet
Okay. Okay, sir.
I've been using since last almost 1 year now.
Okay.
So I will try to explore how to take attendance in Google Meet. Okay. So I will inform you. I will message you. Okay. I will inform this Atulya Krishnan. Okay.
Okay.
So Friday 3 to 4 is okay. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.